You just tuned into KCAA 1050 AM with the Classic Glamour Dolls live radio show. If you're listening to us on 1050 AM, you can also watch us live on Ustream on kcaaradio.com, top left corner, or cgdradio.com. And here we have, again, introduce yourselves.
Curtis DeBerg.
And Kamaya.
Yes, and we were talking with you guys about, you being in the law enforcement and also doing this DVD. What's the best safety tips that you can give anyone, really? Well, I know on this it's targeting more on the children, right?
Well, this one actually, we initially we were looking to do for like preschool age up until 4th or 5th grade. Okay. But then once we got into it, we realized that with Kamaya's daughters being 18 and 19 and off to college, and then my daughter being 13, the direction changed a little bit. So this one actually is like for the preteens, I guess, 12 up until college age, or even not even really an age limit. It just gives everybody options, especially women out there. If they're walking by themselves, just to pay attention, and when they always have their keys ready.
That's good to know.
Have the key in the palm and the key in between your finger.
Really?
So if somebody comes at you, you can use that as an instrument, a defensive instrument. You can jab somebody with it if you have to, or not use it as an offensive weapon. But be in a ready position just in case. So when you get to your car, if somebody approaches you and it's an inappropriate situation, or you feel uncomfortable, they grab you. Another thing is the things that we teach in this DVD, they're very basic. A lot of people that are in the law enforcement field, if they look at this, they're because we've had the training and we know what we're doing, they would probably look at it and say, that's pretty simple. But they have to remember, we are teaching kids and adults that have never had any kind of training whatsoever when it comes to hands-on self-defense, anything like that. So it is very basic. And then you just repeat it, and just simple things like if somebody grabs you, just scratching or poking, or grabbing the hair, or a simple headbutt or something, just to give that distraction, so it gives them that opportunity to turn around and run away. So it's nothing real complex, and I'm not teaching anybody to be a martial artist or putting somebody in a triangle, chokehold and stuff like that. It's just to give them a split-second opportunity to
be able to get out of
them.
it.
Right.
My question, I know this is totally random, and I am totally random, period. It has nothing to do with it. I've just been curious. Being a woman, I am out in late hours, and especially being an entrepreneur, doing your thing.
Right.
Okay. How about if I have to go to the ATM, and it's a drive-through ATM? How about if somebody would just pop out of nowhere? What would be the best advice you can give to me?
Well, obviously, if you can, the drive-ups are the better as far as getting out instead of getting out of the car.
It's better to drive.
Because if you're in the parking lot, a well-lit area obviously would be the best if it's a perfect world, if you're looking for the best option. But if you have to get out of your car, what I usually do is, even myself, if it's 3 o'clock in the morning when I'm getting some cash for work or something, I just pull up as close as I can to the ATM.
Close as you can.
And again,
lock all the doors,
and get out, and then walk up. That way your car's not open. And so while you're out at the ATM, somebody can get in your car. I lock the doors, and I walk up, and just always, again, looking around, making sure that it's a well-lit area. And as I said before, just something as simple as putting your key in between, like the key fob is in the palm of your hand, and the key is going between your index finger and the middle finger. That way, if somebody does pop out, you can use that as a striking instrument, if you will. Okay.
Good to know.
And
things that come through my head, I know.
It's just simple and basic things. If somebody grabs you, just a palm strike to the nose, to the bridge of the nose, or scratching is something simple as scratching and screaming and yelling.
How about if you're 5 years old going to, I know you're young, but you can't never be too late to teach a child. Right. 5 years old, dropping them off to their, kindergarten?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we wanted to stress is that we were doing this as a series purposely, so that not only from an educational standpoint, but a lot of these scenarios are precautionary. In other words, you shouldn't have to be putting yourself in that. In other words, think ahead. You know what I mean? If I'm on the road and I know that I've got a guy who's a fan that saw me at a show, and he's staying at the same hotel, I make sure if we're on the same floor, I don't get off on the 6th floor if I know he's on the 6th floor. I wait. I let him get off, and then I go to the 7th floor and then come back down to the 6th floor. It's things like that that you would never think about unless you travel the world or you've been in these situations. So a lot of the things that we put in here, and that's why we didn't want to make it corny with just, Curtis up there going up and doing safety tips. We wanted real life scenarios so that you go, oh, I didn't even think of that. And the tween age, they think they're invincible. They think they already know. Oh, we know the rules, Mom. Drop us off at the mall. And to answer your question about that, in our young videos, there are going to be different scenarios that these little guys are going to be able to do, and we have plenty of tips that we're going to do. We don't want to give them all away,
okay,
but they will be on.
There you go. But I know we all heard the same thing, right? But it's good. It's good to actually know. It's good to actually know because, like, regardless, even if you're like a woman or a child, or how parents can go ahead and teach their children what to do, what not to do, what to look for. So
and a lot of the parents themselves, they don't know how to talk to their kids, don't want to talk to their kids because they, it's not going to happen to me or it's not going to happen to my child. Or the parent may have been a victim themselves and don't want to be embarrassed by talking to their kids regarding those situations. So there again, we're hoping that if they watch the DVD together and they go through the scenarios and the situations, they can explain and they can talk about it and use that as dialogue to discuss, the issues.
Wow, I can't wait to see it. Honestly, I really can't wait. So once again, it's targeteddvd.com. Let's go to the next song, and then we'll come back with Curtis and Kamaya.
Yes.
Papaya. You just tuned into KCAA 1050 AM with Boss Lady and Crispy Taco, and we are here with the team of targeteddvd.com. So be sure, if you are listening to us, watching us right now on Ustream, I know I spoke on Saturday to a group of young girls. If you guys are listening, I know you guys said you were going to listen. Please check out this website, targeteddvd.com. Tell your parents to buy this DVD. I can't wait to see it.
All lowercasing and no hyphen in between, Targeted DVD.
So it's targeteddvd.com. And go ahead and check them out. I know you guys are on Instagram, but if you guys have a Facebook, go ahead and check them out on Facebook. And shout out to the little girls. They're so awesome. But, hitting the subject of what we were talking about during commercial, molestation, is that something you guys hit on that DVD?
In one of the scenarios that we have in there, it goes to, or just because they may be a teacher or a coach or a pastor or somebody of higher authority, doesn't mean that they're not capable of being.
It's true though.
The perpetrator or predator. So, and we don't want everybody to walk around paranoid, the kids being paranoid and that they can't trust people. It's just being aware.
But I think it's important though to bring out that subject because I feel like, me personally, that happened to me when I was young. That's something that I've never actually said to anyone ever. But I think now, being a grown-up, I'm really paranoid, especially with my niece. And I tell my sister all the time, don't leave your child with anyone, and I'm just paranoid. I could just imagine if I had my own kids, it's just
when my daughter was younger, she's 13 now, and her name is Aurora, and I remember when we were looking for daycares, because of the things that I've been through, and you would walk into a daycare or somebody's home, and it's just like the feeling, the gut feeling was just like, I'm just gonna, sometimes you just pull in the driveway. And you turn around and you leave because there's something about the residence that just gives you a bad vibe. And there again, we talk about your gut feeling. That's in the DVD. Just if something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't.
And what do you do if the child is really young though? Being a parent, how would you be able to talk to your child?
To be honest with you, and that's a great question, because I remember being on the road with my kids young, and they went with me, so they had Street Smarts 101 because Mama was on the road in Japan and in Seattle and everywhere, different countries.
Don't talk to anyone.
Yeah,
right?
It was more like Street Smart. I'm telling you, it was like better safe than sorry. Call me paranoid now, but it takes 20 seconds to ruin the rest of your life. You walk into a bathroom alone without someone.
It does.
You know,
it does.
You don't forget to lock the door when Mama's going down the way for sound check downstairs in a hotel. You know, those little things that don't seem very important. I was adamant, almost a sergeant about it, because, and I hate to say it, but I did have to scare them. I did have to let them know. And kids these days are so multimedia oriented. You'd be surprised how these young ones would receive that kind of truth. I think the youngest actor that we hold, Donovan, he was on the DVD. He was like, what, 9 or 10? Extremely articulate little boy, and he was really like, wow, he's in the one scene where the coach basically treats him a little inappropriately. And me and Rich, it was funny scene because we were going down, okay, how should we play this scene? You know,
that's not too much,
right?
Huh?
Right.
But I'm like, no. And Rich was like, well, what do you think? And I said, well, I think, does this look inappropriate to you if he's just touching him on one side of his shoulder, or if he comes behind him and touches him that way?
His shoulders.
And the whole set went quiet. And Rich looked at me and he says, let's film it.
Yeah.
And it was just, we had to do it because, you see, you don't realize it. And the little boy's face is like, wow. And how many little boys have been in that? The statistics are that little boys with their coaches, their pastors, altar boys, we hear it all the time on the news, and I hate to say that, you know, but it's the truth. It's the people that you trust that are supposed to be taking care of your children that are sometimes the biggest perpetrators.
Oh my God.
Right.
Yes.
You know?
And we talk about that in the DVD also. It's like, you know,
Yes.
going over to stay overnight at friends' houses or their homes and stuff. Just because you know them as a girlfriend or, you know, from school doesn't mean that you know mom, dad, or brothers or uncles or aunts that may be in the house or staying overnight or something like that. So, you know,
those are the precautions.
Exactly.
Look for
And
that.
just, if you go to the bathroom, you know, go with, you know, have them take you, or make sure that you lock the doors, and, you know.
It's interesting though that you said, you know, a few seconds can ruin your entire life, and it is
Absolutely.
very
Scars you.
true.
Yeah.
It
Very
does
true.
scar
Yep.
you, and you know, there's not that many. I feel like 95%. It really scars you, and you don't tend to move on, type of thing. And then
Right.
there's those 5% that you just learn it as a learning experience, and you get to just help others.
Absolutely, and you go from that victim mentality where it did scar you emotionally, from trust, betrayal, abandonment from the ones that you trust, those authority figures, into becoming an empowered person, a voice to speak on those issues, which is something that I've done. And when I got with Curtis and I realized he also had this incredible, literally visceral knowledge of all of the things that could happen and how we could actually put them to a tangible, applicable situation. And then Rich storyboarded it, and then it was just an amazing, you know, it was one of those things where you just know God has his hand on it, type thing. You know, what are you going to do when that happens? You know, it's got to be out there. It's an impact project. People should be aware of it. You know, and we made it, it's not like, you know, hey, you know, pay $25 and it's $10.
And
it's
you
cheap.
have some good,
It's reasonable.
When you were talking about the sponsorships, I actually wanted to talk about that because, like you said, you're looking for stores to be able to, you know, purchase these so they can sell them to get the word out. So, really quick, some sponsorships. You can actually get it at targeteddvd.com under the link sponsorships. But we have it here. They have a silver package, 10 DVDs, $100. Gold package, 20 DVDs, $200, and platinum package, 50 DVDs, $500.
And with that, we're
Very
hoping
affordable.
that the business, they can use those DVDs in any manner they want. They can either hand them out to employees, you know, friends, family, whatever, or if they want to do, like, well, just for instance, the $500 package, they get 50 DVDs. They can keep what they want, or they can suggest, or if they have an organization that they would like us to donate them to, we will make sure that they get into those hands.
That's a good.
Because a lot of, you know, the inner city programs, after school programs, some of these programs, they can't even afford the $10 DVD. And our goal, again, is to make sure that we get this into every hand of these of children and moms and dads, so they can educate their kids. Because you never know if this one DVD could be the DVD that could save a young person's life.
That's right.
So we're challenging everybody to either go in and buy 2 DVDs, keep one and give one to a family and friend, and then challenge them to go buy 2 DVDs.
Do the same thing.
And
But
then
if
just
there's
mushroom effect. And
If there's an individual that wants to purchase not a DVD, several DVDs, but wants you there, like, you know,
Absolutely. We're
Yeah.
there.
at the maybe
absolutely.
a nonprofit.
Because we have some of the schools that we're getting together with right now that want to do like an assembly.
But as long as they purchase the DVDs, right?
Well,
too.
not necessarily. That would be wonderful. But to get us there, and we would bring DVDs with us, and so we can have an assembly. They can, you know, we'll show a few short clips of the DVD. We'll talk about it, and then the DVDs would be there for sale as well.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's go to the next song, and we're going to get to you singing.
Uh-oh.
Let's go to the next song. You just tuned into KCAA 1050 AM with the Classic Glamour Dolls Live Radio Show. Boss Lady and Crispy Taco here, and we have the TargetedDVD.com team here. Yeah. Curtis and Kamaya.
Hi.
Okay, so before we get to your singing, Kamaya, I know everybody's waiting. Let's get more to like the vision of where you see this going.
Well, I'm really proud to say that it totally, you know how something starts, it's like embryonic, and you see the wide lens picture of it as a producer. You're looking at how many ways we can make this. It started off as a targeted, something that we could do for homeschoolers, to be totally honest. We sat down, we mapped it out. Our initial guerrilla marketing was, let's hit a few charter schools and we'll get 100,000 out and we'll touch 100,000 lives. Boom, boom, boom. Next thing we knew, we had law enforcement and other organizations and churches that, well, what are you doing? What about this? What about that? And as Rich and I sat down, and Curtis and I, and we started brainstorming, we realized that it did need to turn into a series. And so, to answer your question, you know, obviously at this section of where we are, we have it as a DVD on a website that will eventually be a downloadable. We intend to do personal appearances to market this one. That in turn is going to facilitate funds, hopefully, that with other angel investors that have started to approach us, that we can do a series. And some of those other topics are going to include bullying, cyberbullying. We have a series that's going to be a double DVD, which is consequences and restoration, meaning the consequences of someone, let's say, texting and driving and they kill somebody, and now what are the lives of those people? And we've got the Newtown situation for the little guys and the awareness of what to do even with terrorist activity as citizens for children, because children, believe it or not, are a lot more observant than adults. When you do observant exercises, psychology, even with child psychologists, they tell you that the brain of a child can observe so much more than an adult, because why? We're thinking about bills, we're thinking about getting to work, we're thinking about life as a grown-up. But a child is more observant and can see things. If we teach them now, they could actually help teach our parents. Our parents are just as guilty as texting, you know, in the driveway and walking in a parking lot, and they're not even aware. So how do we expect them to teach their kids? So then it took a life of its own, and now it's going to involve it, like I said before in a previous segment, into a reality show. Somewhat of the America's Most Wanted, and the reason for that is to reenact probably 2 episodes in a half an hour segment, and then of course have, you know, Curtis host it, and albeit maybe a correspondent interviewing, almost like a docudrama type of format. Me and Rich were just talking about it the other night. This is news for you, Curtis. Anyway,
he's like, say what?
He shows up. He's got the greatest face for this ever.
Tell me what time and place, and I'll be there.
What do you want me to wear, Kamaya? He's great. He's just great. Does this shirt look good? Anyway, but having said that, you know, we know the value of it, and we'll circle it around and then basically give people an opportunity to do the downloadable if they want the workbook that goes with it for an educational tool, or if they want it as something to minister in a church to address certain issues. That will be available. So really, it's almost like the wide lens view, and as Rich would put it, Kamaya, you can't conquer the Grand Canyon. Can we just look at one rock at a time? I love you, Rich, but someone's got to look big, but he has to look small. So really, you know, we're putting it out there to any angel investors out there that want to partner up with us. You know, this is to us not
That's
about
an awesome project, though.
Yeah, we're not about trying to make millions here. We're trying to impact lives. So we just want to get the product done, and that's really our heart. And from there, hopefully that will magnify into something that, you know, an Aaron Bakovich, you know, man, we were talking about Adam Walsh and that whole story, and unfortunately how, you know, his father ended up being the host of that show. We don't want there to be another show that has to have a host that something horrific happened to their child. We'd rather stop it now.
Yeah.
You know, that's what our intentions are.
Wow. I know we're going to go to the next song, but before we do that, and then we can come back. Yeah, go ahead and, you know, let the listeners know, other than being this awesome producer, you know,
Thank you.
What is, you're a singer?
Yes.
Introduce yourself in that sense.
Okay, well, I am a jazz singer, R&B singer, have been for many years, and I'm currently working on several projects, an R&B jazz record and a Christmas record. I'll bring you a copy of that, so you have some Christmas music for your show through the holidays, and yeah, that's for you, my gift. But yeah, you know, I would have to say that alongside of that, it's just giving me a platform as an artist to go ahead and talk on many things and just being another artist. So this is actually, you don't count on publicity to help you. God paves the way, and I stand in that if you're going to move a mountain with a mustard seed, then you better put your faith on something. And I'm putting my faith on this. And so the singing and all of that, that's a wonderful vehicle to get me into places and to have me sing and be a spokesmodel, a spokesperson on shows and whatnot, talk shows and whatnot. But, ultimately, I'll sing, but this is what I'm going to speak on.
Awesome.
I think I know what we're playing in December.
Right? Give us a little something before we go to the next song.
All right, here's a shout out to all our children out there. You are so beautiful to me. You are so beautiful to me. Can't you see? You're everything I've ever hoped for. You're everything I hope to be. And you are so beautiful to me.
You just shut me up, girl.
Wow.
For real. My headache even went away. It's a miracle.
It's a miracle. I've been laying hands on my girl here. I've been laying hands on her.
Let's go to the next song, and we will be back. They're awesome. We are just chitter chatter here, huh?
Well, since you got healed and everything.
My headache got healed.
That's right.
Hallelujah.
You just tuned into KCA 1050 AM with Boss Lady and Crispy Taco and the team of TargetedDVD.com. So here's your last plug. Go ahead and shout out people.
Go, Curtis.
Let people know what you want, and I'll just stop talking. Go for it.
All right. Well, I just want to definitely do a shout out to the production team, because without them, as you know, you're only as good as your team. And so first, my heart out there to Rich Arahu, who is my heart.
Thank you,
and
Rich.
My soul. We love you, Rich. You are amazing. From a director standpoint, from a visionary and storyboarding, everything that you do behind the scenes and on set, you're just an amazing gift, and we just love you to death. Our editor, Monty Seward, who is my ex, but I still love you, babe. Gotta say it, he's talented and brilliant. So, hey, you gotta give it to him. He did an amazing job of putting that together and really editing it together to tell an incredible story. My music supervisor, Andre Mew, and Cassius Sanders, you guys were just incredible. Within 24 to 48 hours, I got all the cues delivered. I mean, they just came with it, and their partners are with Shankar, who did Passion of the Christ. So we brought it. We brought a cinematic thing to a DVD that is something you want to look at and be educated in. Thank you to all of our actors. Oh my goodness, they showed up with their little outfits and on, makeup ready.
Really?
Let's just do it for a copy, and that's it, because they believed in the product. And of course, to my daughters, who put their heart and soul with mommy and all the production. Curtis's family, his ex is in it. It's a lovely affair, let me tell you.
Shout out to the exes.
Shout out to the exes.
It was my daughter
That's a whole
Aurora.
different show. That's good.
It was convenient. I mean, my daughter Aurora was in it, and love her to death. And then my ex and her 3 little kids with her.
That's a great scene.
Which is the scene, so we can look out for it?
That is the scene for which is
parking lot scene.
It's in a parking lot scene when she's got 4 kids walking to the car late at night on how to load the kids, or and then somebody runs up behind her and takes her or throws her to the side and then jumps in the car and carjacks.
Yeah, pretty dark.
Yeah,
but good.
With the kids. So but it just worked out real well. We were able to use them as well. So.
Okay, awesome though. I mean, hey, when something has to finish up the project,
yes,
everybody's involved, and that's good.
Yes, we're excited to all of our new people that are coming on board, all of the new schools and sponsors that are out there. We're shouting out to anybody who has a heart to want to be a part of this. Just please contact us and let's talk. That's all we say.
And again, I just want to say thank you to everybody that was a part of this, because everybody has a passion for kids. Because if anything that has to do with kids, even when I was working the streets, when you would get a call with little kids involved, whether it was just a an accident or something to the extreme, whenever a child is involved,
that's no joke.
You step it up like 100 times. And so again, I want to say thank you to everybody that was involved. Without your passion for what we believe in, because it made it more. The scenarios were more heartfelt, I guess, if that's, you could see the passion that everybody was using in the scenes because everybody believes in it.
Yeah. So. And our goal really ultimately, it's really just, it's simple. We just want to save lives. And I know it sounds like, being on Miss Universe, I just want world peace and say world hunger. But you know what? The truth is, who's doing this? Nobody is educating our children on the basics of observation. And observation prevents you being in a precarious situation. So like when you had asked earlier in the earlier segment, what do I do if I go to, listen, girl, let me tell you something. Don't be going at 12 midnight. Bottom line.
I have that problem.
And I do too, because I'm out there. If you got to go with your homie, get your boy to go with you.
Or wait till the
morning. Because it takes 30 seconds or less for something to happen that will absolutely change the direction of your life.
Even putting gas too, though, huh?
That's what I'm saying.
Being out at night.
Late at night, and we don't realize that even as young adults, as older adults, as parents, it's observation for everybody. We've gotten numb, we've gotten desensitized, and it's time for us to be tasered into reality and realize the state of the world at where we are right now, we're at heightened 4 all the time. We should be, because of where we are in the state of the world. So my advice to anybody out there who's listening and watching and realizing the impact of what this project can do, get on board. We would love your support. We'd love your intake. If you are a teacher, an educator, and you want to come on board and be a part of our board of directors to help educate on the next series that we're doing, we'll welcome you. If you are someone, a church that has an abuse missionary organization, we will come and speak. And our goal is to donate these DVDs. That is our ultimate goal. So anybody who wants to be a support to that and help us get to that next level of the other series and completion and then getting it to the reality show, boy, please give us a call, because we're on a mission and we're not going to stop till we finish this race.
That's awesome. We got to keep in touch.
Yeah, definitely.
So we can go ahead and...
more healing.
Yes.
I have a quick shout out for Alicia, aka Mamacita, which is the owner of Trucha Gear. She says, shout out to Boss Lady and Crispy Taco, love you too. And then she also sends a shout out to Legendy Empowerment, and can't wait to see you next month for a photo shoot.
Yes.
Aww.
And then also Goldie's Vintage, this is a shout out on Instagram. She goes, she's saying if we can please announce that Goldie's is looking for models for this coming Saturday, the 23rd, who are building their portfolio or who want to add to theirs. The location will be in Norco, close to the 15 freeway. You can email her infogoldies@gmail.com, and she will get back to you.
Awesome. Big shout out, girls. Thank you for tuning in. Please stay tuned for our next hour. We are interviewing
Innerground Fitness.
Yeah, they're here in the studio.
They're here.
And thank you guys so much. Again, please remember targeteddvd.com. Go ahead and check out their website. Check out their Facebook. Yes. Targeteddvd.com?
Yes.
I know I followed you guys. I did follow you guys. I have so many things in my head. But you healed me, woman. You healed me.
Now you can do 10 million more things.
Thank you guys so much for stopping by. And definitely don't let it be the last time. You're going to come back for your singing, and you will come back for more tips.
Absolutely.
This is
Christmas,
awesome.
honestly.
This is totally awesome. Okay. You just tuned into KCAA 1050 AM with the Classic Glamour Dolls live radio show. Our engineers making me signs back there. I had to stop. It's Boss Lady and Crispy Taco on the mic, and I was so excited about interviewing them. You know that? TargetedDVD.com.
Yes, that's a really
Kamaya.
Great, yeah, Papaya,
Kamaya, and Curtis. They're awesome.
We need more videos like this and awareness to this for schools, because I know they do assemblies now and they want to start speaking at churches.
You should totally give that to your mom too, or
for school.
Right?
You're right. I am, and you know what? She always gets involved with after-school programs and stuff. So
that's
definitely
awesome.
So it was awesome to have them here on the show.
Yeah. So remember, targeteddvd.com, and we have here our second interview. Introduce your guys yourself.
Hi, I'm Miguel, the owner of Underground Fitness.
The owner.
And I am Roxana, one of the coaches.
One of the coaches. Okay. Talk to us about what is Underground Fitness.
Underground Fitness, it's group personal training. We separate it into two different days. We'll have one day specifically for upper body and one day for lower body. So we're not performance, we're actually more into body sculpting.
So are you guys a gym?
Yeah, we're a gym, yeah.
You're the owner?
Yeah.
How How old are you?
24.
Wow. I did not know that. That's awesome.
That's awesome. I
I
didn't know
gotta
that
give
either.
you a big shout out for that. I caught on to that right away. I'm a big supporter of entrepreneurs that start young. That's young. That's good. Did you actually just start it, or did you have it for a while?
We just started last year, actually in May 2012.
That is so awesome. Congratulations on that.
Thank
Where's your gym located?
We're in Moreno Valley off the 60
Moreno
freeway.
Oh, I think actually, were you guys in a? I think do you guys have booths, like certain booths like that give out flyers or something?
Actually, we haven't done one
You
yet.
haven't. Okay,
no,
then
not
it was
right
the
now.
other people then. Okay, I'm from Moreno Valley. That's
Oh,
why.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. You have no excuse
yeah.
not to go.
Right? Oh crap! I need to go to the gym too.
We both need to go to the gym.
So you're off the 60 and what else?
Off the 60 in Heacock and Postal Avenue.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a gym, and you have most of the, what are they called? Not weights, but
Equipment?
Like equipment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, my headache came back. I need Kamaya
I
here
need
to
the
sing to
voice.
me. But you guys have most of the equipment there?
Yeah, we do mostly free weights right there.
Okay.
The reason behind that is when you do free weights, you activate more of your core.
Okay.
So we do have some machines, but for the most part, it's all free weights.
Okay, good. So then your focus is sculpting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and then you as a coach, what is it that you do?
For the women's bikini. So
You also
for-
compete, right?
Yes,
You
I also compete.
I was
yes.
reading you have a really interesting bio on how it started, how you weren't always into it, right? Oh.
No, well,
She said bikini, and I look at her.
you're like,
I think that's the
I'm
first
like-
thing that we do.
Sorry.
Eyes up here, Isaac. Eyes up here.
Sorry. Talk to us a little bit about that, though.
well, I actually started out, like as I, wrote to you guys, I was having some tough times. So I was looking into ways of making myself feel better. So as you guys can see, I'm a very thin person. So as a thin person, I wasn't feeling really good about myself. So I started out hiking, and then from hiking I started running, but I started running long distances. So I would run like 12 miles like every week. So I would increase, my miles. So I started noticing that I was losing a lot of weight. So being a thin girl and 97 pounds at the time, I was like, I can't
And
be
you know what?
losing so much
It's funny that
weight.
you mentioned that because a lot of girls, even though they're thin, they still have issues, and you wouldn't think that. Like, oh, she's thin. Like, what is she? What
what
kind
is
of
she
problems does
worried
she have?
about?
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's funny that you mentioned that. And then I was reading your bio, and it said that you were running a lot. So that is a lot of people use that as a stress reliever, right?
Yeah,
Running.
it's like a stress reliever. Yeah.
So is that mainly what you were doing at first?
At
was
first.
to get rid of stress.
Yeah, well, I was feeling like depressed I had depression at the time, and my medication wasn't really working on me. It was just making me feel like worse. And I'm not the type of person, I don't like to be medicated. So I figured, okay, I need to figure out other ways to, get rid of the way I'm feeling. So I started doing my own research, and I saw that hiking and like running and outdoors type of,
Stress.
it was stress like relievers. So then that's when I started into like the whole running thing, and I figured, okay, I want to get fit. I started getting into the whole fit thing, and my sister's boyfriend at the time, he was 17, and he was like, hey, let's go to the gym. And I was like, okay. So we started going, and from there I just started seeing changes in my body. Not only was I gaining weight, but I was loving the way I was looking, because I started getting a form in my body, and being
Curves.
being thin, I was like, ooh, I love this. I never had any body frame. I was just flat, like nothing. So I started loving it, and then I started I contacted coaches, and from there I just got into competing, and ever since I stepped on stage, I can't get off of it.
How did you guys connect?
Well, actually, I have a friend who I've known my whole life. She does the bikinis for the shows, and she actually made one for her, and then we're like, hey, let's get her on board over here. She did really great. We saw that she has great potential. She's, trying to go pro next year. So we're like, hey, let's get her over here. Yeah.
That's awesome. And how do you see, obviously you've had it for, when was this open?
It was open in May 2012.
2012.
Yeah, it was a portable personal training before. It was all mobile, and then as we started getting more and more clients, we just started getting more and more equipment, and it was just getting too heavy and too much stuff to go, place to place. So we're like, all right, well, we have to settle down in one location. So now we're in that one location, and it's going really good.
Where's your vision? Like, where do you see being as an entrepreneur? Where does your vision go?
Yeah, well, basically, my vision for this is eventually we're going to have franchises, different locations. I know all of our members are getting results. They're all loving it. So I know it's growing. I mean, we've went literally from 0 members to 80 plus in a matter of months. So, we're obviously getting people results, so we're going to need to expand pretty soon.
So this is really, really good, because if you're in the Inland Empire area, and especially Moreno Valley, I think the only gym they have is like when you go to Riverside, right? In the Moreno Valley area, there's hardly not that many gyms anymore.
Yeah, there's regular gyms, but there's nothing compared to what we have. We're kind of our own genre, kind of group body sculpting in that area right there. So there's really nothing related.
Do you have a website?
It's actually down for maintenance right now, though. It's theundergroundfitness.com. But if you go on our Instagram, you can go on our sister website. That's theundergroundfitness.zenplanner.com.
Okay.
So that's why it's pretty long, but if you go on our Instagram, you could.
So
go
on
Instagram,
there. Shout out your Instagram.
We're at Underground Fitness Inc.
At Underground Fitness Inc. Okay,
and then
awesome.
You can go ahead and see her stuff also.
It's _RoxyFit.
Awesome. And then, do you have a personal one, or is that the Underground Fitness?
Oh no, I actually just go off of my wife's actually.
Okay, good.
I'm taken.
Was just shouting out your Instagram? That's a good one, though. Okay, let's go.
Points there.
I know, right? Yeah, with the wife. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next song, and then we'll come back with Underground Fitness. You just tuned into KCA 1050 AM with the Classic Glamour Dolls live radio show. We have here Underground Fitness here from Moreno Valley, right? Their location is in Moreno Valley.
Yeah.
Again, off the 60 on Heacock, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm excited to actually be interviewing them. I did not know how old he was, and for an entrepreneur, that's great. 24, started when you were 23, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. And he's married, girls, okay?
Yes, I'm married.
No. All right, what's your status?
I'm taken. No.
Awesome, though, because I know we probably have listeners here watching you on Ustream. Okay, so we have a giveaway. If you're looking for, here, hold it up, since he holds up everything. Go ahead and give us a call, 888-909-1050 for a free shirt, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Get to wear what the coaches wear.
909-1050, and it's what who wears?
What the coaches wear.
What the coaches wear. 888-909-1050. So let's go back to what made you want to do this?
Well, I've always been into training since I was younger, and believe it or not, before the whole fitness explosion thing happened, I've always wanted to open my own gym, and I started seeing basically all these little tiny gyms that were opening, and I saw that you didn't need all this expensive equipment, so I was like, hey, I might as well go for it. So first I started off as a personal trainer at 24 Hour Fitness. Okay. I saw I was doing good there the first 3 months right off the back, so I was like, hey, I'm obviously doing something right, because I was doing really good there. So I was like, might as well just start trying to open my own business. So I started mobile, started literally with a pair of resistance bands, and it was from there it's gone way beyond that.
Wow. So what's if somebody's listening to you right now or watching you, what's the best advice you can actually give them to be an entrepreneur themselves, being your age?
Yeah, basically the best advice you can get as an entrepreneur is there's going to be a lot of times that you're going to be doubting yourself. One common struggle I had is that I had a lot of friends who were graduating college, and I wasn't in college, so when I saw that they were getting all their their bachelors, their masters, and I was just starting this company from scratch, I was like, man, I woke up in the middle of the night one time and I was like, what am I doing? Am I crazy? And and you sometimes go through that doubt, but it's usually when you're going through those rough times that if you stick it through, you're going to get results. I compare it to the same as fitness. When you're getting ready for a show, you're going to go through these rough patches, but it's when you're going through those rough patches that the results start coming. So just stick it through, and just remember, the worst you can do is, I know it sounds bad, but the worst that can happen is, you failed, but at least you can say when you get older you tried.
That's true. He sounds like me. Huh?
Yep. That's what I was about to say.
What's I mean, I know in this radio show, I really like to get real. You know what I mean? Ooh, we have a color. I like to get real when it comes to stories, to being, an entrepreneur. What's the biggest struggle you had?
In the beginning, the biggest struggle was actually more financial. The thing with my father, he had his own business when he was younger, and I took a lot of advice from him. When he was younger, he had a successful mechanic shop out, towards the Los Angeles area. And one thing he told me was that you got to let the business pay for itself. So it was just kind of getting that through my mind. And as the members started coming, the equipment started buying itself. So the demand itself will help your business grow. So just make sure you do a good job.
How was your childhood when it came to, when you mentioned that you took a lot of advice from your father, how was your upbringing when it came to that?
As far as for my father,
was he there, and telling you,
yeah, well, most of
what to do? I don't know.
Yeah, most of this advice actually was coming actually lately. That's when he was giving me most of the advice as far as for the business. The great thing about my dad, he's always been very encouraging. He's always told me you can do whatever you want, the sky's the limit. And it sounds cheesy, but when you tell your kids that, it really does have an effect on them. So if you're a parent, always have your kid with that mentality.
One thing that you put on your bio, which really caught my attention, it says the best advice that's been given to me to keep everything in its proper place is 1, God, 2, family, 3, trainer, 4, business. If you put God first, He will tell you to not neglect your family, and then if you put your passion first, like being a trainer, then the business part will just come to you.
Yeah,
and that really caught my attention.
That's interesting.
It is very interesting, and I've never seen it, or I've never put it that way in my head. But once you read it like that, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense, especially for a business.
Yeah, definitely.
It makes sense. I love it though. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I just I like reading the Bible, and that just one scripture that always comes into my mind. It sounds really cheesy. Matthew 6:33. Put the kingdom first, and all these other things will be added to you. So that's why I always go based off of that. Try and read as much as I can, and it'll help keep everything else balanced in life.
It's true though. It's true. Awesome. You just tuned into KCAA 1050 AM with the Classic Glamour Dolls Live Radio Show. Boss Lady and Crispy Taco on the mic. And if you're listening to us on 1050 AM, you can go ahead and watch us on kcaaradio.com. Top left corner, click Ustream, or cgdradio.com. And we have Underground Fitness. So, talking more about, life. That's kind of like in our commercial, we were talking about how I like keeping this radio show, not just about, it's easy to bring a business on and talk a little bit about the business, but I like to go deeper in a sense of to be able to inspire people out there that are watching, and you brought a good point. I didn't know how old you were. So, again, 24 years old, being an entrepreneur. Then you, how old are you? You're young too. Yeah. 23, see? And then you being a coach there, right? But then you also have your story of being a bikini model, right? Wow. What have you been in?
We do the NPC, so it's kind of like the whole fitness, I've done a couple shows and I've placed. Right now I'm going for the whole pro card. So I have to compete May 18th, which would be the nationals.
Wow.
So I'm working into, building more of my body to, be able to get my pro card.
How old were you when you first started doing that?
When I first started, I just started, last year. But the whole fitness thing, I was like 21.
What made you want to do that, though? The whole bikini model?
I've actually, pretty shy myself. So I wanted to do something outside the box. So I felt like, I want to do something outside of my comfort zone. So I have a lot of stage fright. So being there, you're in front of a whole bunch
And your
of
heart's like,
people,
dun, dun, dun,
judges,
dun, dun, dun.
adrenaline,
And then
you
in a
know.
bikini. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, yes.
Look at
I've been
everything.
I'm thin, so I feel like
They're criticizing you more.
yeah, because I'm thin. I didn't feel like secure enough. Like,
Dude,
I
but
had
you
to
have
self-
some, you have
Nice
muscle right there. I just noticed
I
it.
have like self-esteem issues.
Do you have
so,
an inspiration, like a certain person, an artist, not a bodybuilder, but a bikini model, someone that you look up to? Because I know a lot of girls look up to like the Michelle Obama arms or Madonna arms, or.
That's a good question.
I actually do. I actually am coaching with. I have my own coach right now that's helping me for my shows that I started with, and her name is Jessica Arevalo. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know who she is on Instagram.
What? Shout out her Instagram.
It's
Shout
at
out.
Jessica Arevalo
Okay.
_ Yeah, well, I contacted her. She's already an IFBB pro, which what I'm trying to be, and she's actually already competed in the Olympia, which is one of the biggest shows in the fitness era. So that's what I'm trying to shoot for. So those what my goals are, to be in the biggest stage of the year.
Awesome.
So I actually looked up to her. Her physique is amazing. I just wanted one day to look like her, and to actually one day her be my competition is something that I want, because I
Wow.
looked up to her, and now I'm trying to be where she's at. So her being she's young as well. She's 27 years old. She just turned 28. So me being 23 right now, so I feel like I already have like a head start. Like
You'll
That's
get
true.
there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit. You can do it. Where do you see yourself, like in say 5 years?
I actually see myself, and like having my own, athletes. How I'm starting right now, just having my own, team, and having them out there how I started, building up their self-esteem, their confidence, starting from scratch, and just building, the women how somebody's building me. I want to be able to build somebody the
Is
way.
this something?
I gotta go visit you.
Yeah, right.
Just
Let's
kidding.
go. We're
Go,
going. Is it something that you want to do, like as a business? Like you want to go pro with this? Something you see yourself doing?
Oh yes,
Like full-time job?
Of course, it's something that I want to do. I don't want to feel like I'm working a day in my life if I'm doing something I love.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm gonna be here for the rest of my life until I can't.
Awesome.
Until you have every single muscle in the body.
Until I can't develop no more muscle.
One more question. Maybe it's a dumb question. I don't know. But when you're a bikini model, is there certain? Well, I'm sure there is, but there's like certain weights and stuff you have to do to get the good bikini model look, right? Other than just like a regular workout, like there's
Yeah.
certain muscles you have to work out more or some less.
The glutes.
Right? Yeah.
So you have to work out. Basically, what they judge you on is your whole backside and the way you pose. So that's why a lot of women they work a lot on their glutes. So the heavier you go, the bigger you'll build.
Okay.
So that's why a lot of women in the in that fitness area they work out their glutes a lot, and their legs too. So
Okay.
they build up those muscles more.
And for guys, would it be the same thing for like
Well,
the modeling shows for guys?
Yeah, well, for guys, it's actually funny because most guys that you actually talk to, they're like, oh, I want to get down to that 3%. And you have what I call like, the big man syndrome. They, you put
Like
them
a
on
big-
nutrition. They're like, oh, I'm losing size. I'm losing size. Like, you don't realize that the people on stage are actually like 20 pounds lighter than what they normally walk around.
Yeah.
Me, I walk around like 178, but when I could do a show, I'm like 151. And so, yeah, you have to cut down a lot of weight, but you try to keep as much muscle as you can. So supplementation too at the same time.
I really want to, actually, we're going to go to the next song, but this engineer, man, he's so funny. Okay. But I really want to hit the subject. That way it makes you think what you're going to say, and then the listeners to, tune in. But there's something that we always talk about, and that's relationships. And since you both are married, taken, boyfriend or married?
Boyfriend.
Okay. Doing what you guys do and actually being able to keep doing it, right? I mean, being an entrepreneur, I'm sure you have like hectic hours, you being married, you being taken, being a bikini model,
I'm actually
and
a
doing
mother
a
as
coach.
well.
And girl.
Wow, that's more inspiration for someone
See what I mean?
listening. From
Okay, so we're
moms
going to
out
come
there.
back and talk about how you guys do it. Okay. let's go to the next. You just tuned into CGD Live Radio Show here on KCAA with Boss Lady and Crispy Taco on 10:50 a.m. Remember, you can also watch us live on KCAAradio.com or CGDradio.com. And a few shout-outs. I want to give a big shout-out to Valerie, a.k.a. BB.
Yes.
Yeah, BB, remember? CGD? She wants to shout us out. So send her a big kiss. Valerie, she's 8 years old. She's awesome. 8, right?
Yes,
she 8?
She's 8 years old. And last time I said I gave her wrong age, and she got all upset at me. So sorry.
Aww.
She's a big girl.
She's a big girl.
Shout out to Jose, aka Pancho from Corona. He's also watching live. And to Eric, if you're watching. Tina, the winner, she's also watching
Congratulations,
live.
Congratulations, Tina. Big shout out, Girls Day Out, the conference that I actually talked to yesterday in the city of Paris. Big shout out to all the girls. I hope you guys are watching. Keep tuning in every Sunday, 7 to 9. Big shout out to Bernice Reveles that actually performed there. That was actually awesome, remember?
Big shout out, to Bernice. She goes by Bernice Celeste now.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, Bernice Celeste. She's going to change her new name. Or Reveles is her last name, but Celeste is.
Awesome. So, big shout out to Legendary Empowerment. Go ahead and check them out on Instagram.
I'm wearing the shirt.
Yeah, they made that shirt for you, Crispy Taco.
LF_empowerment. Sorry.
Shout out to Valerie's mama. Big shout out. Amber Peña, that's tuning in. Retro Dolls from yesterday's photo shoot. Check out their website, retrodolls.com. I actually saw a good friend that I haven't seen for months, Georgie. Which on Facebook you can find her as a pinup name, Gina La Brujita.
Or effing lady on Instagram.
Instagram. There you go. There you have it. And a big, I want to actually take time to shout out this fundraiser that they're having. It's under GoFundMe.com. You can find it Ride in Paradise Adrian. Their goal is to raise $10,000 for funeral expenses. He actually, I believe, got in an accident. So he passed away in the Orange County area. So it's for funeral expenses, and they actually have raised $505. So their goal is $10,000 for funeral expenses, and it's under GoFundMe.com, and the title is Ride in Paradise Adrian. So big shout out to the family, though. Okay, we are back. Do you guys have any shout outs?
Actually,
Underground Fitness? Go for it.
If you're into performance, one of the best coaches in the Inland Empire is Richard. So go find him at CrossFitRiverside.com or at Riverside CrossFit if you're into performance.
Okay, big shout out. All right. Do you have any?
Roxy.
Just shout out to my hubby, David.
There you have it. Okay, talking about that. Remember before we were going on commercial, we were talking about, relationships, and that's always like a big topic when we're on radio. People get all into it, especially the listeners, because, being an entrepreneur and you doing your own thing too, an entrepreneur too. How is it that you guys are able to deal with that? Like, actually have a wife and be able to be a young entrepreneur. You're a mom, so let us know your daily routine or like your best advice,
Well, just best advice, try your best to keep work at work. I actually have a son too, and like I said, I try to get most of my stuff done when I'm in the office, and then as soon as I'm off, it's either time
family
with my wife or my son, and I'm actually pretty blessed. I only have to work 14 to 22 hours a week, and then the rest of the week with my wife and son. So
big shout out to the wife and son. And then you?
Actually, I have a full-time job. I go in. I have flexible hours. My boss is my best friend. So I go in sometimes from 5 to 2 p.m. and then I have to pick up my daughter from school at 2:40. I am a single mother, so I kind of have to do a lot of things on my own. So I have to, once I pick her up, I have to do, homework with her. She is in kindergarten.
Aww.
So I have to sit there and, help her out with her homework, do things with her. And then nighttime, when she goes to sleep, is my gym time. So sometimes I get like maybe 5 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep, and again the same routine the next day.
Well, I think then for you it would be, what advice would you give to the single moms?
You know what? Just, it's gonna be tough, but in the end, once you start, doing what you love and putting effort in everything, your kids are worth it. sometimes when I don't get to see her as much as I do, I feel like once I conquer what I'm trying to conquer, it'll all be in the end, and we'll be, I just know that I had her, and I know I did what I had to do in order to go above and beyond with what I need to do for her.
Girl, I am sure you have your story. I can already see you like getting real. You just as women, they don't understand. They don't understand. What happened? You were gonna say
I understand because we have a lot of different women here from different charities, so I hear a lot of women talk. So I'm kind of getting in their mind zone now, and it is harder for women, I think. For women,
but it was more the way you were talking right now. It's like I can feel it like from over here, and I'm like, wow, I wonder what her story is, without putting you on the spot. But you know what I mean. What happened? What were you gonna say?
Nothing. I'll save it for the break.
Wow, but so then that would be the best advice that you would give.
Yes, just sometimes, like he said, there will be times that you'll want to cry and give up, which reasons came into when my depression came in, and I didn't like feeling that way, being because I had a little soul looking up to me, and I didn't want to feel like if I failed myself, I'd be failing her as well. So I just woke up one day and I said, you know what?
Things got to change.
I'm going to change myself, and I did. So now, even though if I don't sleep, I know it's going to be worth it at the end of the day.
It's so beautiful. I don't have children, but I have been putting what is it, like the negativity away from me. So I've been trying to stick very positive, because life can take you in a negative depression way. We all go through things, and it's just, for me, that has helped, being able to focus more on positiveness, eliminating those people that are negative out of my life, and just focusing on what I want to do, and not losing myself in that either, but being able to have my own time too, to relax and to be able to spend it with people that are dear to me,
like I did cut off a lot of people in my life. Fitness changed my whole life completely. With that being, I figured, if being in the gym is gonna cut me away from a lot of people, then I know who my real friends are and who really want to be in my life.
It's true. Yeah. That's a good point. He's like, he wants to say something like
no. Or negativity.
Just tuned into KCAA 1050 AM with the Classic Glamour Dolls Live Radio Show here with Boss Lady and Crispy Taco on KCAA, a Danny Alcarez production. And if you're listening to us on 1050 AM, you can also watch us live on Ustream on KCAAradio.com or CGDradio.com. And as promised, we're back with Underground Fitness, and we're talking about a little bit more because we're like down to our last 5 minutes. I feel like I have caffeine in me or something, right?
Pumped up.
All of a sudden I woke up, it's the voice.
Let's go. Some pre-workout.
Okay.
Let's go work out right now.
So I want to get really down to the business. Okay, we had a lot of like personal talk now. Yeah. Okay. What trainers do you have there?
Okay, so basically it's 3 of them. I'm in charge myself. I'm in charge of all the group training and then, some of the personal training. But as far as Roxy and William, they're in charge of the whole MPC training, getting ready for all the competitions.
Awesome. And why did you choose those trainers?
Well, just being straightforward to the point, when I used to work for a corporate gym, it used to drive me, crazy seeing that there would be trainers that wouldn't live the lifestyle that they're putting out there. So we chose
somebody that just goes and like pretends they're training people and they really don't live by that, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. I'm not for the whole car salesman thing. We want people to be proud of their trainers and be like they're doing it. That's why I think in the personal training industry it's been getting a bad rep just because, being straightforward, there are a lot of car salesmen there. So William's actually a 2012 Mr. Olympia for men's physique, and then we're gonna have Roxy over here going pro next year. Even if I gotta pull the food away from her myself, but she's going pro.
So my question as a coach, are you like one of those hard coaches like that? Just if I would train with you, girl, would you like?
I'll push you until you'll throw up.
Oh shit!
That's what we need.
Oh man.
When did you class?
Monday through Thursday.
I think I'm sick.
You know what? I like something that you mentioned on your bio. It said that your customers, clients are actually seeing results. So going back to the car salesperson thing, a lot of people, they just doing it because it's a job. But I feel like with you guys, it is going to be more like, more personal with that person and what they need to work on, and what their goals are, what they want to reach and stuff like that. So someone needs to be more, I don't know if the word's intimate. No, not intimate. Like more personable with someone, like one-on-one.
One-on-one.
That way they feel comfortable. Like they can, tell you anything, or you can tell them, you can push them. So that's I think it's really important.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for recognizing that. Yeah, it's like I said, we're trying our best. We want to be known for having actually quality trainers, and that's our business plan. When you go to a regular corporate gym, they're known because they have their equipment or anything. Where if we want to be known as the people who are like, hey, I know I want to get in shape. Underground Fitness is the place I'm going to call. Like that's the first name that pops into your head, and that's what we want to be.
Right. And as soon as people see results, like when me and Anna start seeing results, we're going to start referring people there. You know what?
Yes.
It's in Mobile. It might be a little far, but do it.
It's worth it.
You,
Honestly,
whole change name, fresh salad over here. No more crispy taco.
Salad. I'm going to have to
honestly,
change my name soon.
crispy salad. Honestly, like I am to the point that I want to start, watching more. Because I lost a lot of weight. I actually
Especially for
lost
television, too.
I lost 150 pounds.
Oh,
like
wow,
literally.
congratulations.
But now I'm in the process. Like I want to lose more, and not just lose. Like I want to
You'll get addicted
fit, right?
once you start seeing results.
And I'm there. I'm there, especially because how you said I'm gonna be on
Television,
TV
adds 10
so.
pounds.
Awesome.
God, doesn't
So
it?
it does. It is-
I see myself and I'm like, ugh.
It really does. So we see the YouTube video. I always see. I was like, oh my
It's 10
god.
pounds of muscle.
I'm like, why am I
Right?
moving
That's
that
the way
way?
we should see it now. Now it's
Yeah.
10 pounds, but of muscle.
Yeah.
So going to that, what are the prices?
Well, as far as the group training, we're actually, really well priced because we want to be known for our, for training
Clientele.
people, So actually, right now for the whole group personal training, which is a limit of 15 people per class, you got to book it. It's depending on the term. If you want to do month to month, 104, or we have a really good price where if you stick with us for 12 months, it's only 50 a month.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not bad.
Yeah,
so you can
so-
go. It's not open 24 hours though.
It's not
right?
open 24 hours, but the hours you do go, they are quality. So that's
Okay,
that's
awesome.
the reason we're like that.
Okay, so they're under website again.
TheUndergroundFitness.com, or right now since that is actually in maintenance, just go on our Instagram at Underground Fitness Inc. and then you can see our sister website.
And do you have a Facebook?
Facebook, we do, but I cannot remember our username.
Search Underground
under it.
Fitness Facebook.
Yeah.
Maybe that.
You know what?
Switch
It does
results.
come up because I went on Google. I searched it,
And the
it
Facebook
does
came
come
up?
up.
See, there
But
you
you
have
haven't
it.
updated in a while.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you might want to update that.
We've been
I liked
killing
it.
it on Instagram. That's why
Well,
I really found it out.
People are tuning in today. And what's your Instagram?
It's _RoxyFit.
Rock.
There you go. Go ahead and follow her. Shout out from. Do you guys know?
Love. Or is that? Oh, that's actually Loose right there. Yes, I do
Loose.
know
Loose?
Loose. Oh man,
Love.
Love's in charge.
We're like, love.
Shout out to
Loose. There you have it. Big shout
Shout out
out.
to Luce.
And again, what happened?
There's one more.
Oh, actually, yeah, it's from Loose, from my wife, Amber, and my son and
yeah,
family.
big shout out. Big
Yes,
shout out to the
thank
wife.
you. Big
How
shout
could we
out to
miss
them.
that?
How did I miss that? I've been saying
So
I've
there
been
was
taking the whole
two
time.
shout outs. Awesome.
Wife, it is not my fault. Amber, it's not my fault.
One call, two shout outs? Oh, okay. Well, big shout out. Big shout out to the wife and the kids.
Group shout out.
And do you guys have any other shout outs before it ends right now?
Shout out to my daughter, Jaden.
Woo woo.
And then, actually, you guys got all me covered already.
Okay, well, awesome.
Quick shout out to Mamacita, aka, I'm sorry, it's actually Alicia, aka Mamacita, the owner of Trucha Gear based in Arizona, and also our girls in Vegas, LF Empowerment, and then thanks for my shirt.
Big shout out to Tony. I know he's watching. Thank you guys for your support.
Shout out.
And please tune in every Sunday, 7 to 9, to Boss Lady and Crispy Taco here on the CGD Live
Yes.
Radio Show. Bye.
mind, but I see no limits. Ain't no perfect world without you in it. Let it all unfurl. Do the damn thing. Walks on the beach while we pop champagne. Love when you hug me, love when you kiss me, love when you call just to say that you miss me. Haha, I miss you too. Got me under a spell like you do voodoo. Who knew we would fall in love? You look like an angel, belong up above. You're a sweetheart, and you're street smart. So sweet, you're sweeter than a sweet tart. It's a lover's world, and you're my only. Feel like my life's a real oldie. If you pull me close and hold me, I will never do you wrong like Kobe. I wanna spend my life with you. When I look into your eyes, I see my life in you. More than an itty bitty waist and booty. God broke the mold when he made your beauty. Such a cutie, I'm head over heels. Your slightest touch gives me the chills. Baby, it's real, ain't nothing fake. You rock my world, kinda like an earthquake.
And baby, it's real. It's not a feel. I'll travel the world for this love. This love affair, yeah.
L-O-V-E, baby, lasts forever. I see you and not through every stormy weather. When times get hard, I'm your shoulder to lean on. It feels so good to be a woman who stays strong. Trust, faith, and loyalty goes a long way. I don't never wanna make it go away, so I'ma hold you down, I'ma make a way to keep you around, and it's worth it, baby.
No need to say it, I know that it's worth it. Everything about you, you're so perfect. If you're my shoulder, I'll be your soldier. Ride by my side till the game's over. L-O-V-E, I know what you're saying. I thank God for you every night when I'm praying. Such a blessing that I believe. Perfect match, Adam and Eve. I'd rather have you next to me. It's like ecstasy when you're sexing me. You're my destiny, and we're meant to be. Me and more, the one that I adore. Looking bomb like you're ready for a war. Furthermore, you're hotter than the oven, and I really need your loving, so it's something that I can't ignore. Pure beauty at its finest, queen of the throne. I'll be your highness. Righteous, believe when I tell you if love was a test.